Welcome back to New Rockstars, I'm Erik Voss, and our ongoing breakdown of the Infinity Saga during this quarantine period has just stumbled upon its first Infinity Stone. And while we now know how each of these rainbow god rocks found their way to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then how they were later used multiple times to do god-awful things that we haven't fully appreciated the implications of, these little turds remain nuggets of mystery. Not only do alternate versions of them still exist in alternate timelines if the MCU ever wants to visit them, we still don't know where most of them were in the eons prior to when we first laid eyes on them. And in the way that the Space Stone's backstory gave us the origin of Captain Marvel, other Stone's backstories appear to be the basis of upcoming MCU Phase 4 titles, which have been delayed but not forever canceled. So let's look backwards to break down the origin of each Infinity Stone and what those origins could tell us about Phase 4. And let us start with a stone Thanos started with in Infinity War, the Power Stone. In the first Guardians of the Galaxy film, the Collector explained the origins of all the Infinity Stones dating back to the Big Bang.
Before creation itself, there were 6 singularities. Then the universe exploded into existence, and the remnants of these systems were forged into concentrated ingots. Infinity Stone.
The Collector pointed to one ancient user of the Power Stone, a celestial believed to be Eson the Searcher. Eson used it to wipe out an entire civilization. And then later, the Collector explained how an unnamed group attempted to wield the Power Stone collectively, but they were all destroyed. And this resulted in it getting encased in the orb. So presumably, Eson somehow lost the Power Stone. He could have been defeated in battle, or maybe he willingly gave up the stone. Eson is one of 2 living Celestials we've seen in existence so far in the MCU, along with Ego, Peter Quill's father. Worth noting that in other Marvel comics, Star-Lord's father isn't Ego, but another character named Jason, son of Emperor Eson. If the MCU wants to keep that lineage intact, Ego could be the son of Eson in the MCU. And maybe it was Ego who stole the Power Stone from his father's dead hands. So what happened to Ego? Well, Ego claimed to have no memory before his spontaneous existence as a brain floating in space.
I don't know where I came from exactly. First thing I remember is flickering, adrift in the cosmos, utterly and entirely alone.
One theory that I really like is that Ego's adrift brain came from the giant severed celestial head of Nowhere. Now, in the Marvel comics, that celestial was decapitated by the symbiote deity Null, using All Black the Necro Sword, the same sword carried by Gore the God Butcher, the character rumored to be played by Christian Bale in Thor Love and Thunder. So we might see a backstory where the ancient sword that Thor battles with Stormbreaker, All Black the Necro Sword, was used in some ancient past to slay Ego in his previous celestial form and send the Power Stone into the hands of these other idiots, and then later found by Ego's son, Eson's grandson, whose Star-Lord mask actually kind of looks like Eson's celestial armor when you think about it, just with like 2 circle eye holes. Another Infinity Stone whose origin could be detailed in Thor Love and Thunder is the one that's gotten the most screen time so far in the MCU, the Space Stone. Odin hid the Space Stone in Norway in the 10th century, but Ragnarok suggested an earlier history on Asgard with Hela recognizing the Tesseract.
That's not bad.
Now, we don't know exactly how the Space Stone ended up in Asgardian hands to begin with, but isn't it an interesting coincidence that the Asgardians have the unique power of the Bifrost, allowing teleportation anywhere in the universe, which is also the power provided by the Space Stone? I know, in comics lore, the Space Stone and the Bifrost are different things. I'm just saying, I could definitely see the MCU retconning them into having the same source of power. Thor's Stormbreaker also has the power of the Bifrost. Perhaps that will be explored along with the other mysteries of the Odin Force as they pass along to Jane Foster in Thor Love and Thunder. It ain't always easy to keep these daily doses of distraction coming at you from the Blue Dungeon Mark II. Sometimes I fall asleep in here and it's very disorienting to wake up and just see all blue. Anyway, the best way for me to get an extra energy boost is with Bang Energy! And thanks to Bang Energy for sponsoring this video. Every can of Bang is 16 ounces. That's right, there's no wimpy 12-ounce cans here. It contains 300 milligrams of caffeine, it's sugar-free, and has 0 calories, yet it tastes great! There are over 20 different flavors to choose from. This one is Birthday Cake Bash. It's my birthday this week. And because I'm not allowed to have a party, I'm celebrating it with Bang! Thanks for that happy birthday flavor, Bang. Check out Bang on Instagram. You can get 25% off your order at bang-energy.com when you use the code NewRockstars25. another birthday kiss. There you can buy cans of Bang Energy, including their sweet tea, keto coffee flavors, and birthday cake bash. You can also get clothing, fitness supplements, all kinds of stuff to be your best Bang self. Thanks again to Bang Energy for sponsoring this video. Get 25% off at bang-energy.com using the code NewRockstars25, and follow the inventor of Bang on Instagram at bangenergy.ceo. Another Infinity Stone with Asgardian history is the Reality Stone. Thor: The Dark World opened with a prologue explaining the ancient history of the Dark Elves and Malekith, who in 2988 BC sought to exploit the convergence of the 9 realms to warp all of reality into darkness. Dick.
Such evil was possible through the power of the ether, an ancient force of infinite destruction.
Malekith turned the Reality Stone into the liquid sludge ether form after finding that stone buried deep in the bedrock of Svartalfheim. Perhaps it crashed there after the Big Bang. And then after Malekith's attempt, Odin's father, Bor, confiscated the ether and hid it on Asgard. Now the next Infinity Stone with mysterious origins is the Time Stone. From what we know, the Time Stone has been in the possession of the Masters of Mystic Arts contained in the Eye of Agamotto. Agamotto was an ancient sorcerer who forbade usage of his eye necklace, though later Cagliostro was permitted to study the artifact, and he inscribed all of his spells in his slam book. But that doesn't mean the Time Stone has always been on Earth. The post-credit scene of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 revealed a group of Ravagers with Kruger, a Lem who's a sorcerer using similar spells as Doctor Strange and his other buddies. And that's because in the comics, Kruger is Sorcerer Supreme in an alternate future, but in the MCU, he presumably belongs to the same network of mystic warriors, a network that could expand far into the galaxy. So the Time Stone could have fallen into the hands of other extraterrestrial mystics in ancient times, and then passed along until it got into Agamotto's hands. That's history we could see explored in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 or Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now onto the Mind Stone, which got its MCU introduction in Loki's scepter in the Avengers, though it's debated whether Loki or Thanos knew the scepter contained an Infinity Stone. Like in Endgame, Gamora and Nebula were saying that the Power Stone was the first one he found in 2014, but whether or not Thanos knew it, the Mind Stone was the first stone in his possession that we know about. He handed it off to Loki in the scepter to attack Earth for the Tesseract in 2012. Thanos likely got that scepter sometime during his past warpath, where he and his Chitauri army went planet to planet, killing half of everything they found. Now, it is worth noting that Thanos is an Eternal technically. He has a deviant gene, but Marvel's upcoming The Eternals seems like it's gonna answer a lot of these questions. The Eternals were created by the Celestials like Eson and Ego, but actually there's a whole bunch of them. And that history could be the thing that unites the origins of all of these things. The Guardians of the Galaxy, Thanos, the Asgardians, the Infinity Stones, maybe even the mutants of Earth. Our last stone that we haven't talked about is the Soul Stone, which of course requires a blood sacrifice on Vormir, which Nebula described in an interesting way in Endgame.
A dominion of death, at the very center of celestial existence.
Celestial existence, eh? As the keeper of the Soul Stone, Red Skull possessed some divine wisdom over people's parentage.
Welcome, Thanos, son of Elos, Gamora, daughter of Thanos, Tasha, daughter of Ivan, Clint, son of Edith.
Perhaps the Eternals movie will reveal how the Celestials encoded the Infinity Stones with a certain genealogy. And the reason the Soul Stone knew Thanos' father is because it's connected to, as Nebula stated, celestial existence. An existence that could include the mysterious origin of Ego, possibly son of the stone wielder Eson. Which Infinity Stone are you most curious to learn the origin of? Join our watch-alongs of the Infinity Saga films on Discord by becoming a patron at patreon.com/newrockstars. Comment down below with your thoughts, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EA Voss, follow New Rockstars, and subscribe for breakdowns of everything you love. Thanks for watching, bye.